the Rebels and the Blues. Who hasn't spoken for a while? I was going to say, is it Nels? Nels, do you want to take us through new injuries and returning?
Yeah, look, for the Rebels, we've got a new injury to Alima, who limped off. I'm not sure we know the severity of that, Harry. Do you know anything else on
No, I searched again today. Literally all the injuries from these games, the relevant ones, have just nothing about them.
I mean, exact same for the violin, Tongan Scarface, Ekuasi. He limped off in that last one as well. Alex Murphy apparently is injured. So we don't know too much about those guys, but probably doesn't look good for a couple of them. I mean, Ekuasi's built like a brick shit house. The guy probably doesn't need any cartilage or ligaments or anything, so just run him out there, please. I need him on my fantasy side. AJ Lamb was pulled pre-game for the Blues. I don't think we know much about that, do we, Harry?
No, as I said, there's just no detail on any of this stuff at the moment. I have been searching, but hopefully we get some clarity soon.
Yep. In terms of the returns column, Trevor Hosea from his concussion for the Rebels, and potentially Akira. Akira's got to be back around soon.
No, there's been some chat that they're pushing him back a couple more weeks. I saw something just the other day saying now looking a little bit more like round 9. So I don't think they've completely ruled him out, but it's not sounding very good.
Harry, don't make stuff up, mate. Akira's coming back this week. I can feel it.
The big thing for me is Satutu still hasn't had a rest. So this bloke, does he get a rest this week? And who do they put there in that number 8 jersey?
Oh, mate, I've got plenty of options to put.
Tane Plumtree, mate.
Anton Segner, Tane Plumtree.
Segner's not an 8, mate. Tane Plumtree.
He's played 8. Chuck him in there, mate. He's been playing great.
You could play 8 for Germany, mate. We get it, but not for the Blues.
No, the guy's 40 centimeters tall and about 85 kilos. Like, there's no way he's playing
8. All right.
Yeah, look, the Rebels, they've knocked off a few sort of Aussie competition and come close to the Hurricanes, but they're yet to prove their worth as, a contender or really stepping up from, that kind of mid-Aussie. Maybe they're probably the second best Aussie team at the moment, to be honest. But, they're not putting themselves in that sort of top list. And to do that, they need to get a scalp of a Kiwi side. And Blues, are a faltering team at the moment. They're not as solid as they have been. They're 3 from 6, but geez, they're still bloody good. What do they need to do this week to kind of keep pushing and building the momentum? Do they need to come close? Do they need to win? Or what do they need to do here, Harry?
It's in Melbourne, mate. They got to win. Like, what do you mean? Since when has losing been good enough against a team ranked 5th in the competition?
Look, if the Rebels come within 50 points of the Blues, that is a build, improvement from last year. So let's be honest, they are on the way up significantly. But
they're aiming for a win, mate. No, in no world will the coach go, "Oh, we only lost by 7. What a good game." They'll want to win here. The Blues are a little bit low on confidence. Bodie Barrett's not playing that well. They've got no Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Akira Ioane's out. Hoskins Satutu needs a rest. Mate, this is an opportunity for the Rebels. They were junk last week, so they must be rested. They must be switched on because they sure as hell were not switched on to start the game last week. So this is it. If they really are the second best team that just got pumped by Fijian and Drua, I think we need to remember about that when we talk them up. They need to start very, very strong, and they need to be good for the 80 minutes.
I was pumped by Fiji and Drua. We said the second best Australian team. Fiji and Drua can pump all the Aussie teams too. Except
all I know is that this game will feature 2 world-class 10s. One world-class and one with a world-class haircut. You know what I mean? And it is going to be great. I mean, Carter Gordon surely is good for at least 2 tries.
Barrett does have nice hair. That's true. Barrett does have very nice hair. Very lush.
Andrew Kellaway's back this week, fellas. He said maybe it was the Games Room or wherever he was interviewed recently. He likes fullback first, outside centre second, and wing third. Do you think there's a chance that they play him in the centres, or is he locked in at fullback?
I certainly hope not, mate. Fullback through and through. Get him in there.
All day for them. They've been Pincus has done well. Don't get me wrong. I actually feel bad shitting on him, but they've been aching for a fullback of his class. And he's a guy that can stick his hand up for a Wallabies 15 jersey. Stick him in 15 and leave him there because he is not playing outside centre for the Wallabies.
The thing that's exciting for me is, and obviously we've enjoyed watching Monty Ioane play, but I'd love to see Marika Koroibete back in the team, because watching Kellaway play last week, the difference in playing in a back line that is getting the ball and is going forwards was enormous. You've seen Kellaway in some Rebels teams in the last couple of years where there just hasn't been any opportunities to really do anything and craft anything. But last week, Kellaway was, absolutely getting stuck into everything off some really great backs interplay and like some go forward ball. So it's going to be really exciting to see what he can do, because we previously had to watch Kellaway not be able to do much in the Rebels. And then when he puts on the gold jersey, absolutely step up, right, when he's surrounded by world-class players. But, I'm really excited to see him at fullback for the Rebels.
Yeah, so if we're bringing him to fullback, Harry, do you drop Anderson, who has wheels, or do you drop Pincus, who has been honestly really, really good the last couple of weeks? Because Pincus easily, is quality enough to play wing as well.
You drop Pincus, mate. You don't push him out of position to wing when they've got a winger that's been playing well. You definitely drop Pincus.
Absolutely.
He's a winger as well, and I think he's probably...
Yeah, but Anderson's been picked above him all year and the last couple of years and has been playing well himself. So Pincus has been good, but, man, he goes back to the bench. Kellaway starts. Easy one.
100% done.
Yeah. What about the Blues? We mentioned the back row, but Perifetta surely gets a rest this week. I think he's well overdue. So who will they throw in there? Radamatavuki Needkins has been getting a few runs, seemingly over Zahn Sullivan at the moment.
Yeah, but he's been getting runs at wing, not at fullback.
Yeah, but he's just been coming on something like he even on the 23. Maybe they will just shoot Zahn Sullivan straight into the 15 jersey.
That's what I'd expect. I feel like they either start Perifetta or they start Zahn Sullivan at fullback, and that's just how they go.
For me, their equation is simple, and I agree 100% with Mills Muliai. And I don't know if you boys have seen it, but he said Beauden Barrett is lacking confidence. He's playing like he's got more time and not necessarily taking it to the line and really playing like he used to at 10. Shift him back to fullback. He played most of last year for the All Blacks at fullback with Moong at 10. He needs to be shifted back to 15. Perifetta has looked good in that chance at 10. So if he's not rested, give him the 10 jersey and give Beauden Barrett that 15. Not what you want to hear when you're talking up Sullivan, but I think Beauden Barrett needs to go to 15 for them.
See, I don't buy into that at all. I don't subscribe to that at all. I think Beauden Barrett is the best 10 in the world. And that in
2015,
that if he's lacking confidence, the solution isn't to move him to another position. The solution is to give him more game time, to just play.
He has not been the best 10 in New Zealand for the last 5 years, mate.
No, well, that's a ridiculous statement, mate.
No, he hasn't, mate. He has not. He has been dynamic and he has been good, and he's been shifted to fullback.
Everyone knows that Josh Shawan is the best 10 in New Zealand. But
here we go. Beauden Barrett has starts a game, it has 20 minutes of bad footy, and suddenly Nelson forgets he's been the best 10 in the world for like the last.
Nelson's dropping him cold this week in his fantasy. He's not even going to trade for someone.
Fullback,
just straight out.
Fullback.
Next thing we know, Nelson will say that he's better than Beauden Barrett. You know what I mean? But anyway. What else we see? So we've said Hoskins arrest, Akira's coming back. We've all agreed with that. Good. And otherwise, I mean, the only other things are Kurt Eklund. We've still been watching. Ricky Riccatelli's been playing fantastically. We've all been surprised by this. But do we see Kurt Eklund get some more goes starting in the?
Well, I think they need to line out the function, and Eklund's throwing has been awful. But on the same notion, the same kind of line of thought, I think Patrick Tuipulotu came back via the bench last week, and I thought Sam Darry had an excellent start. And, he's a guy that I think they pinched from the Crusaders from memory. And they were pretty upset when they lost him because they have such high hopes. He's only like 22 years old, but it seems like he's been injured forever. I think those two should be starting together. And you put Riccatelli's accurate. I think he's throwing in over 90%. It's a dangerous set piece when you think you've got the likes of Nepo Lala, Ofatunga Farsi running around. Like, that's a mean pack. It's starting to look very, very good again.
Agreed. Any other last points before we go to tips on this one? I think we all...
I got two more. Geez, that bench for the Rebels. You got Uelisi 122 kgs, Kabus Iloth at 125 kgs, and Poni Amalseili at 130 kilos. That is an enormous front row coming off the bench,
squad.
and they brought him back on really, really quickly. But if only the prince that was promised, if he can become the prince that can throw the ball straight, that is scary.
We've already said we're not referring to him as that anymore. But
yeah,
I would say he did come on and he looked angry when he came off the bench. I think he's been getting really fired up that he's not the starting hooker, and he's been making some great cameos.
Yeah, man, I think he'll be starting. Alex Murphy's apparently injured, so he's in the Wallabies squad. I think he'll be starting this week.
I just mean I've been liking him coming off the bench so far this season. He's been coming on really angry and getting stuck in.
Yeah, fair enough.
The other one is Talea against Ioane, who has been roaming a lot to try to get involved, and his D has not been there. He does not look like he wants to be involved in D. He looks at the blokes around him and go, "You're going to make this tackle," and then stands back. I reckon at least once. Yeah, Monty Ioane. At least once, he will step back and point at another player and say, "You've got him." To Talea running at him. I've called it here, and Talea's just going to run straight through and score. It's going to happen. You've heard it here first.
Talea to get one times tackle bust every carry at Monty Ioane.
Yeah, he's going to run at him.
All right, what do you reckon, fellas? Nelson, you got a lot to say about this one. Who's going to win?
It's hard to know how much the Rebels are going to win by. I'm going to say the Rebels. They're going. I like the Rebels. I'm going to support them. No one's turning up in their corner in Melbourne and actually turning up to watch the game.
I'm waiting for Nelson to start laughing and then admit this is a joke, but he hasn't got there yet.
I'll back him, man. I'm going to back him. They're only going to lose by 8.
Okay, there it is. Thank you. Good. All right, I'll say the Blues are going to win this game by let's just go. I'm going to 16. I'll go double nils.
I almost went 22 and then thought for 1 second and dropped my tip all the way to 12 and then to 10. So I obviously have absolutely no idea where this is going to go, but the Blues are going to win by a couple of scores. So I'll go 10 points.
Excellent. I love how the outlier on this one again. Fantastic. All right. Well, that concludes our main course of.
You don't need to tell us you're the outlier of 3 people. There's numerous outliers every single time.